It's just amazing when you really think about what's out there and what's happened. And so what do you do, right? So we're seeing a lot of legal responses right now, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on the law, but I think it's important at a high level to understand what we've got. First of all, in the US, on a privacy side, we're really governed by two types of laws. One are laws that are by sector. You've all heard of HIPAA for healthcare, Gramm-Leach-Bliley for financial services, on and on. That's been around for a while. But now with the passing of the GDPR in Europe and California adopting the California Consumer Privacy Act, or CCPA, and now the CPRA, which I'll talk about, we kind of led the United States in passing state laws for data privacy that go well beyond these sector laws we've had. California led the charge, but the point of this map here is look at all of the other states that are in motion. This is coming, right? It was coming a while back. It stopped because of COVID, but it's back in motion again. And this map is actually as of March 8th, right? Brad, if you can go up back, please. And if you look at the right side of the chart, you can see that there are, in addition to US being a really US patchwork of laws, but if you look at the right side, it's really also about the global laws that are being passed. So Brazil just passed a law, Canada strengthened its law, South Africa came online, Europe's online, and there are more and more. So the question really becomes, how do you navigate all of this? This is rapidly in motion, right? So now let's focus on California on the next slide. And I don't expect to go through all these data points, but if you look at all of that change, those blue and green marks you see are all of the changes that have happened to CCPA and CPRA in California since the beginning of 2018. So we are not only seeing these changes rapidly, even within California, we're seeing regulations and refinements happening on a very regular basis. So this is a very messy space at the moment here, and it's almost impossible to keep on top of, even when you're in the field.
Well, and you can imagine new laws in other countries are going through the same sort of iterative process, right? We went through 5 different revisions, clarifying. GDPR went through 3, but in each one, the maturity of laws, you can get whipside trying to react to what now in CPRA is 20 new regulations.
And I don't want to go through all of the laws here. That's not the point. You can go to the next slide, Brad. But the point here is that there are some fundamental things that most of these laws have. And you probably have seen these before, but as a basic refresher, as a consumer, you have a right to know what data a business has collected about you. You now have a right to delete it and ask that it be corrected. Corrected is a new feature that came in CPRA, but it's now built into California law, expected to be adopted elsewhere. You have a right to a portable format to get that data in a way that you can share it and use it. You have a right to opt out of your data being sold. And you have the right in California to seek damages. Not all states give you number 5, but many do. And of course, you have the right to equal service. So you cannot differentiate people and offer different pricing based upon who they are. So as a consumer, you've got a bunch of rights. And as a business, you've got to provide consumers that access. You've got to honor that deletion and modification request. You've got to have appropriate notices and consent to get consumers to consent to how to use their data. You've got to properly make sure you're sharing it with third parties. The new notice obligations, so the 3 on the bottom are new in CPRA. They've strengthened the notice obligations that you've got to give as a business. There's actually an interesting change here on data minimization. The law now is going to require you to only keep the data that you need for the useful purpose or life of that data. So the useful life could be legally bound, or it could be, hey, the guy's warranty is up and I can now no longer keep data about him. So there's data minimization requirements, legally binding. And you've got to demonstrate compliance to the law now as well through audits and responses. So some strengthening there. The big news in CPRA, though, really, is that California is funding an enforcement agency starting in July 1st of this year that will have a $10 million budget to go after people who are not abiding by the law. It's very similar to what Europe does. We'll see how other states adopt this, but that enforcement arm starts giving this some teeth.